Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Executive Vice President, Science and Product Development, Dr. Mark Bartlett.
Have you ever wondered why you need to sleep? Why it's so important? So let's do an exercise. Can you recall a time when you were significantly sleep deprived? Perhaps when you had a newborn or during a very stressful period at work? How did that lack of sleep affect your daily life? 20 years ago, Crystal and I had twins. Wow. Like, there was a time I thought I would never sleep again. In your own life, try to remember that kind of time. Think about what physical or emotional changes that you noticed when you weren't getting enough sleep. Were you more irritable, anxious, prone to stress? Did a lack of sleep affect your relationships with your family, your friends, your colleagues? And I wonder if you noticed how your interactions changed. How did your sleep deprivation affect your performance at work or at school? Did you find it harder to concentrate or remember things? So, if it's that important, if you notice those things, I wonder, how do you prioritize sleep in your daily routine? What sacrifices do you make to ensure that you get enough sleep and rest? Now, I want you to switch gears and think about a time when you got a really good night's sleep. How did you feel when you woke up the next morning? After a night of really excellent sleep, what differences did you notice in your energy levels during the day? How does a well-rested night affect your mood and your overall outlook on the day ahead? Oh, Carl, what's going on?
Mark, this is amazing. I just realized that I have spent 20 years, maybe more than 20 years of my life sleeping.
What are you talking about?
Well, I think it's time I found out what the heck's been happening in those 20 years. I mean, is sleep important?
Right, 20 years is like a third of your life, right?
Right, a third of my life. I think I need my head examined, maybe for doing this, but...
Well, I can see that you already have an EEG cap and all the leads attached. Let's see what's going on. Let's measure your brain's activity. This is yours.
Oh.
All right, we'll plug you in, shall we, to the EEG machine. We'll turn it on, and we'll plug this guy in. All right, check out the computer. All right, how are you feeling right now? Are you awake? Are you alert?
Oh my God, I've been drinking Ninja Red for 24 hours. Of course I'm awake and alert.
All right, kind of makes sense because the EEG is picking up your brain waves right now, and these are beta waves. Now, you'll notice with these, they're very close together. That means that they're high frequency and kind of short height. That means it's a low amplitude, right? So a doctor can look at things like this and kind of tell you what's going on. Hey, Ollie.
Hey, did someone call for a doctor?
Dr. Ollie, I'm so glad you're here because right now we're measuring Carl's brain waves. What do you think?
Well, looks like beta waves here.
Yeah, I told you he was a doctor. Those are beta waves, all right. And Carl wants to know what's happening to his brain while he is sleeping.
Well, okay, let's show everyone how it looks when Carl goes to sleep.
All right. So, Carl, do you think you can sleep in front of 3,000 people?
Oh, sure.
All right. Why don't you just relax, and we will turn on this diffuser here with a little bit of lavender, just to kind of get you there. All right. So,
Carl, what are you doing?
Oh, jeez. I got to check my monthly totals here.
Carl, don't you remember what we talked about? sleep hygiene. I mean, what's happening here?
Well, I know, light and melatonin, melatonin and light, blue light blocks production of melatonin.
Exactly. Melatonin increases in the evening so you can sleep better. And that phone with that blue light will certainly not help you to sleep better.
Right, Carl. So I guess you better put the phone away, probably in a different room, right? Okay, he still wants to keep it. It's hard to separate a man from his phone. Okay. Ooh, what's under this cloth here? Oh my gosh, that looks like a completely new diffuser. Okay, that must be for later. Okay, so Carl, are you getting sleepy?
Oh yeah, I'm getting real sleepy.
All right. I think something might happen. It might change his waves.
Well, that sounds about right, because what I see here are alpha waves.
Right, that's so interesting. Yeah, you can see that the waves aren't so close together. That means lower frequency. And Ollie, look at that pattern of brain waves. What should happen as he starts to get even sleepier and then actually go into real sleep?
Yeah, so when we're going to see a change from beta wave to alpha waves, and alpha waves are very common when you're alert, but still kind of relaxed. And then we're going to see smaller amplitude waves when calls drift away to sleep. And then we're going to call these theta waves, we're going to see non-REM 1 and non-REM 2.
All right. So I can see that these are definitely like when you're getting into the deep wave sleep, they're greater amplitude and slower frequency even than the alpha waves. I love this. So each of these patterns, from alpha waves, then to theta, and then to delta waves, they're associated with those different levels of sleep that you go through in a good night's sleep. In fact, scientists describe this as sleep architecture, right?
Yes, that's right. And here we see the different stages of sleep that Carl will go through. This slide just shows us the sleep architecture. Non-REM 1, non-REM 2, very slow or low wave sleep, and then REM. And then it will repeat.
It's amazing how structured this is, and there must be a reason for it. Now, Carl was asking us if he had wasted 20 years sleeping, and it wasn't all at once, right? You know that, right? But instead of working and playing, he was sleeping for about a third of his life. What do you say, Dr. Ollie? Was he wasting his time?
Oh, no, definitely not a waste of time. I mean, when you are in non-REM 1 and non-REM 2, your brain reconfigures itself. It kind of solidifies the memories and what you did during the day. It reinforces all the activities of the day. Your brain is like a computer. Every connection requires some energy. And so the brain needs to figure out if to keep that or to prune it out.
Exactly. This is called memory consolidation. In my mind, I picture it as kind of welding and pruning. So memories that need to stay after lots of practice or study, those are made stronger with the welding. And those that you don't need, that you haven't used for a while, are pruned out. But Ollie, I think the most interesting thing about the brain during sleep was only discovered very recently, like in the last 10 years.
That is right. And it's called the glymphatic system.
Did I hear lymphatic system?
Sorry, Carl, were we talking too loud? Did these 3,000 people wake you up?
A little bit, yeah.
Actually, we didn't say lymphatic system, we said glymphatic system with a G. But it's kind of along the same lines. What do you know about the lymphatic system, Carl?
Well, the lymphatic system is like the body's cleaning and detoxifying system. There's a clear fluid called lymph that picks up waste and toxins and germs from different parts of your body. It's made up of lymph vessels. These are like tiny little highways that carry the lymph fluid around your body. They carry the fluid through lymph nodes. Think of these as cleaning stations. All of these parts of the lymphatic system work together to keep your body clean so long as you're hydrated and move.
Very nice summary, Carl. So the glymphatic system must have been named after the lymphatic system. And it was discovered by a team of researchers led by Dr. Maiken Nedergaard. She's a Danish neuroscientist who works at the University of Rochester Medical Center. And it was published in a landmark paper, like I said, just 10 years ago. Now, before her discovery, we knew that the body's lymphatic system existed, but we also knew that it didn't extend into the brain. So, how does the brain clean itself?
Yeah, until Dr. Niedergaard's discovery in 2012, we really didn't have a very good idea what goes on up in the brain. I mean, we knew that blood was going in and out through arteries and veins, and that there was CSF, we called cerebrospinal fluid. I mean, the brain floats in it. But where was the equivalent of a lymphatic detox system in the brain? And then they made a startling discovery. When Carl is awake, not much happens.
Hey, I heard that.
Well, no, I mean with the CSF, right? When you're awake, we have very small, gentle CSF waves that go to the brain, and they are mostly linked to breathing.
Right.
But during deep sleep, something major was discovered.
That's right. It's during this deepest stage of sleep that the brain cells actually reduce in size a little bit, increasing the space between the cells. And this increased space actually allows the cerebrospinal fluid to flow through the brain, through the tissue, and just flush out the toxins and all the byproducts of neural activity that accumulate while you're awake. It's kind of like a washing machine for the brain.
Right. The sleep CSF waves were like tsunami waves. The waves when you sleep are getting larger and larger and faster.
That's right, and those waves, they coincide with the delta waves. In fact, the neurons and the cardiovascular system kind of work together to act like a pump that push the cerebrospinal fluid through the brain. So it's about every 20 seconds you get this fresh wave that rolls into the sleeping brain. Now, the only thing is that it happens during the slow wave sleep, right? Remember the sleep architecture? It only happens during that very slow, deep sleep.
Yeah, when the brain is working, a lot of biochemical processes happen. I mean, energy is being used up, protein are cleansed, and there is a totally surprising amount of junk that is generated that need to be flushed out, especially like proteins like amyloid beta, which we know are linked to the development of Alzheimer's disease. So these neurotoxins right there are basically needed to be flushed out of the brain. And it can only happen when we are in deep sleep. This cleaning process is absolute vital for your brain health and your brain function, and maybe the one reason when chronic sleep deprivation hits that some people have problems with their health during older age. So the discovery of this lymphatic system has provided an amazing insight in what's happening in our brain while we sleep. And it further underscores that deep sleep, slow wave, low wave sleep is absolutely vital for our brain health.
Absolutely. So what we're trying to do, oh look, there's a brain in here. Let's get that out, because imagine that this is the nasty neurotoxin that's in your brain, and when you're in slow wave sleep, it's going to pour it out. Pour it
What
out
are
of
you
your
doing?
brain. Actually, I'm feeling a little thirsty after this talk. I forgot to bring some water. Can I borrow some of yours? Thank you.
Oh.
Oops, sorry.
Hey, Mark, are you kidding?
Well, there's some lipstick on this, so I'm just going to pour it into here. Then I'll maybe take a drink out of this one instead.
This is not clean yet.
Not clean yet?
No,
Mark,
you need
I
it.
think it's a good idea to even...
Oh, you reckon it needs another rinse? Okay, let's rinse it out. Maybe it's clean now. I'll just have some more.
No. Standard protocol is at least maybe 5 cleansing before you can drink that.
I'm pretty thirsty. Okay, I was just testing you though. Even the brain knows that it needs to be rinsed very thoroughly. So if you look at the sleep architecture, you'll notice that there are several of these cycles of deep sleep during the night. Each sleep is like another rinse of your brain.
Carl, right? Sleep is way more interesting than you thought. Are you convinced yet that we have to sleep?
I think my 20 years of sleep was well worth it. it's clear that a healthy future for your brain depends on a good night's sleep every single night.
It really does. It's nature's low-tox lifestyle for the brain. And sometimes we need a little help from nature to help us sleep. And Young Living is all about low-tox lifestyle. As I mentioned, our team of scientists have really been digging into the science of sleep this last few years. And I'm sure that some members of our product team have got some exciting things to share with you about sleep. So thanks for sharing the science of sleep with us today, and we'll talk to you later.